Hi students, I am Kashish Munshi and I really hope you all are doing good. So in our last lecture we discussed RTC along with some in-text question, and in this lecture we'll discuss read, reflect and write, that is question number 5, 6, 7 and 8 of your textbook. So let's start. So question number 5 is, what was the immediate sympathy that brought Mary and Perry together? So when Mary went to Paris, she completed her master's degree, and then after that she met Perry, and she started working with Perry. Actually, Mary met Perry as to get a post of assistant for Perry's experiment, and this is how Perry and Mary met. This is not mentioned in the chapter, but this is something that I'm telling you, which is actually in the biography. So she met Perry, and then they started working together, and after that Perry proposed her and asked to get married, and then she took a long time to reply, and she did not want to leave her country. So then she finally replied, agreed to get married, and she accepted Perry's proposal. So the answer is, Mary met Pierre Curie in year 1894. A French scientist of genius, Perry, like her, was devoting body and soul to scientific research. So here it was like the immediate sympathy. So what was that immediate sympathy? Like what made them close, or what brought them together? So it was actually they both were passionate and devoted to scientific research, and they both were enthusiastic, and they both devoted their body and soul to the scientific research. So they both were interested in the same field, and this was what that brought them together and made them interested in each other. Now question number 6. What serious discussion did the Curies have when the radium industry was about to born? What was the decision they took? So this is actually when they completed with their experiment of purification of radium, and in that they finally succeeded. And it was like the radium industry was about to born, or actually it was that the radium was considered to be a very an extraordinary discovery, or something very enormous, and this was a miraculous outcome of their efforts of trying to purify the radium. And when they successfully did it, they come to know that it was something that can help human beings to cure a disease such as cancer, and that was something through which a lot of money can be earned, and it can be actually used as an industry in order to earn the money. So this was something like when after the discovery of radium, it was said to be like a radium industry was about to be born. So after that, what discussion the couple had, and what was the decision they took? So the answer is, when the Curies invented radium, they realized that the radium can become an ally of human beings in the war against cancer. Radium was useful, magnificently useful. A radium industry was about to be born. As Perry explained to Mary, they had two choices. They could disclose the results of their research openly, including the process of purification. They could consider themselves to be the proprietor, the inventors of radium, patent the technique and manufacture radium throughout the world. They could make huge profit and be rich industrialists. They decided that like true physicists, they would publish their researches completely. If their discovery has a commercial future, that is an accident by which they choose not to profit. So here the answer is, after the discovery of the radium, Perry actually approached Mary and asked her that now they have two options with them. One was to disclose everything, how the radium is purified and how the things were invented, and this is what actually scientists do after their research. They publish their research work and experiment. So Perry gave her two choices, one was to publish the research and make people or make the world aware how they did so, and the other was to keep the formula, to keep the things, and to keep the the way or the idea how they did it to themselves, and become the inventor, the proprietor of the radium, and keep the patent to themselves, become the manufacturer, and did not, and like he gave him like an option and not to disclose anything to the world. And to which we saw that how Mary flatly refused the idea, and she said that she did not want to do this, as scientists always publish their research. And she also said like Perry gave her this option because Perry thought that they could earn huge profit and become rich industrialists. But for Mary, money was something that comes secondary, and her top priority was science and scientific research. So Mary refused her idea, and they decided, like a true physicist, they will publish the report. And Mary also mentioned that if there is a chance that radium industry become a commercial future, or in future radium like will become something through which the people can earn a lot of money. So this is by an accident, and this will be truly by an accident. And Mary did not want to take advantage of the situation and did not want to like earn profit, unnecessary profit. So she refused the idea, and she said that even if it become a commercial, in future it become a like a way of doing business, she did not want to get into it and earn unnecessary profit. So this is the answer. See students, the answer is a bit lengthy, I know, but in literature you are expected to explain the things in detail, especially when you write, read, reflect and write. So the answer is given here in detail. Question number 7. How did the Curies spend the money they received when they were awarded the Nobel Prize? What does this reveal about them? So when they were awarded the Nobel Prize in the year 1903, and getting the Nobel Prize means getting 70,000 gold francs. Francs is some, you can say, a former currency of France. So they received 70,000 gold francs, and that was really a very huge amount for Perry and Curie, as we all know how simple life they used to lead. So this was something very something very great for them. And when they received the 70,000 francs, so how did they spend this money? They spent this money by repaying the loan that Perry had taken from his brother, Mary had taken from his sister, and they gave several donations to the scientific societies. They gave gifts to the students, and Mary also gave gift to her childhood friend. And they also installed a modern bathroom, and they made a little renovation in their home, and they repapered a shabby room, as they lived in a very a shabby room. We discussed that in the story, that their house was not in a good condition. So after receiving the gold franc, they repapered, put the wallpaper in the shabby room. And seeing all this thing, we see that they did not spend money on themselves. And Perry did not, Mary even did not mark the occasion or celebrated the occasion by buying a new hat for herself. Mary was habitual of wearing a big hat, and the hat that she was wearing was a little bit worn out. But even after winning gold francs, 70,000 gold francs, she did not buy a new hat for herself. So this all things reveal that they were very kind-hearted soul, and they did not want to live a luxurious life, and they did not yearn for money, and they wanted to live a simple life, and they led a simple life, and everything that they had was completely devoted, or they sacrificed it for science. So the answer is the Nobel Prize meant 70,000 gold francs. The Curie paid off loans, made donations to scientific societies, gave gifts to school children, and made little modification to their house. They lived a very simple life and never yearned to live luxuriously. Everything they had was devoted to science. That's it. Now, question number 8. The question is, these were some of the happiest years of her life. Which years does the author refer to? What gave Mary happiness over these years? So this line comes when there is in the chapter, when there is a description of Mary struggling to discover the things and doing research, and then when she succeeded along with her husband in researching or in like inventing polonium and then radium, and she used to dress in a very acid stained gown with the dust all over. Her hairs were blown by wind, and there was a bitter smoke coming from her experiment, and she used to like surround herself in the laboratory, because of which her eyes and throat were like stung, kind of like you can say hurt, or which something that caused pain. And Mary was like a virtual factory by herself, and she was completely devoted to her work. She used to spend most of her time in the factory and laboratory, and she did not even take care of how she looked and what she was wearing. Only thing that that Mary was concerned of was her research and her laboratory work. So the answer is, the happiest year referred to the years during which Marie and Pierre Curie were working on their invention of radium. Dressed in an old dust-covered and acid-stained smock, her hair blown by the wind, surrounded by bitter smoke from her experiments, which stung her eyes and throat, Mary was virtual factory all by herself. So this is the answer. So you can take the screenshot and then copy down in your notebook and keep the notebook updated, and then start learning as well. Then question number 9 and 10 is actually an homework, and you are expected to write this answer in your notebook. The 9th one is, Marie Curie is known as a respected not just because of her magnificent contributions to science, but also for the person she was. Which character traits do you share with Marie Curie, and which of her traits would you like to have? So this is something that you have to write on your own. The character traits you can take, like Mary was kind, she was loyal, she was patriotic, she was very loyal as well, a loyal scientist. When we saw when she refused to keep the things to herself, and she was patriotic, she was intelligent, she was energetic, she was dedicated, she was courageous, she was shy as well, and she was extraordinarily energetic, and this all are some character traits. So you can use these character traits to form an answer. Similarly, 10th one is extended writing. You are expected to write a short paragraph in the sense a little like a paragraph in an elaborative manner. So Marie Curie once quoted, "I was taught the way of progress is neither swift nor easy." So this is the quote that we already discussed when we were discussing the chapter. And here you are expected to write details from the biography you have read and show how this is true of her life. So this stands absolutely true. This stands absolutely true as we went through the chapter, and we came to know, or we just saw that how Mary was dedicated towards her scientific research and how she slowly and gradually succeeded. She did not achieve success overnight, students, and she did not receive the Nobel Prize in one day. She was continuously and constantly working on that research, and she devoted years and years to get those achievements and those praises and those recognition in the society. So you can just give the examples from the story, and you can give the example from the story and show that how this is true of her life, as she slowly and gradually proceeded and succeeded, and success did not come to her at once. And in reality also, students, take anybody's example, success does not come at once. You need to work hard for it, and you need to spend many a times you need to spend years over it, working for it, and then at last you get success. So this is something that happened with Marie Curie as well, and this chapter is a perfect example to show you that how she succeeded in her life. So you can use these points and write this answer. So that's it for today, and I hope you are studying at home, and you are sincerely studying at home and going through the videos that are uploaded by the teachers. So I request you to follow the teachers, what the videos are sent, just go through it thoroughly and try to keep a note of everything that is explained in the video. And that's it for today. See you all in the next class. Till then, take a very good care of yourself and along with those around you.